This is what our best designer can do. In 60 hours, we're visualizing the product, main, secondary images, A+ content, branding, and packaging. So literally one that works for me, for my products, and helps us with our design. Agencies are not gonna go away. I think that's important, but they will change the way they work. So here's the process. We're gonna go grab those main images. We're gonna save the image that you created. I'm gonna test the dinosaur and I'm gonna save it. And then I'm going to go into Pickfu. And now here's what we're gonna do. With Pickfu, we can ask real people which one they would rather have. And so we're gonna use a competitor and we're gonna use 3. Oh, this didn't save properly. The second side. XML file, what is that? Huh, never run into this issue. Okay, I fixed it. There we go. All right, I'm gonna do all 4. And we don't have these extra elements, we have these others, but it'd be interesting to see how we do against these guys too. So we got 50 people. You could do like 30 just as a quick search, 25 or 30, right? Save some money. So if you lower it, it's gonna lower the cost so you can make your credit go further, right? So you save a little bit of money. It's not a full sample size. Before you actually move forward to production, I recommend you spend the money to do a bigger poll, right? And if you have multiple types of designs, you can use some of the credit to just test your design first. But based on the design, which product would you be most likely to buy and why? Now you get 30 people and you get a trait. So you can have a target trait. So we want parents, right? So family, and we want like 4 and 5-year-olds, 0 and 3-year-olds, and 6 to 11-year-olds. And then, that gives us or, right? And then we can hit checkout. What's great is like you can pull in any marketplace as well. So we can actually pick people and you can start running the poll. So we're gonna revisit that poll in a minute, but I want all of you guys to use that credit. Go take your image that you're happy with, go save your best competitor. You should have already saved them because we use them, and then go ahead and do it. You might put it in before you check out if you have a promo code. It asks if you have a promo code. Is anyone caught up on this or like have any issues? Okay. If I'm not winning the majority of the votes in the 30 or 50, then I don't need to spend more money, Steven. But like, let's say that I am very confident and I've got I'm crushing on the 30 and the 50, might spend the final money one more time with my main image that I'll do the sourcing, the samples. I will get a main image that's more closely related to what I'm actually gonna sell. And then I might do like 50 or 100. But depends by how much you're winning and the responses you're getting. But you're gonna get feedback from the people who vote, which is really helpful as well. All right, now that's gonna take anywhere from like 20 minutes to an hour for those people to respond. They start feeding it out right away. And since we're East Coast, or in the United States and we're polling the United States, the people are awake and able to answer the questions right now. These are real people, and then they're gonna answer the questions, and you can, as people are responding, you can see. Sometimes you can end a poll early, like if you're just getting crushed or like you want to make a change, so you can get back some of that credit as well. So if you started with the 50 and let's say 20 people have already answered and you've got very few of the votes and there's a couple clear winners and you're not one of them, end it early to save the credit and then come back in. Let's go back to our presentation. It's okay. All right, we got some cool prompts here. I'm going to walk you through some lifestyle images as well. There we go. All right.
I've literally helped hundreds of people become millionaires by selling on Amazon, and I want you to be next. Check out the masterclasses link below. Many of them are free. You need to be there. Check it out.
This is what our best designer could do in 60 hours, right? So we're visualizing the product. We just did that. Now, here's a collage of all the assets: main, secondary images, A+ content, branding, and packaging. So this is a completed listing done in about 60 hours of work from one of our best designers, literally one that works for me, for my products, and helps us with our designs. So now the agencies are not gonna go away. I think that's important, but they will change the way they work. This was a concept that Anthony had done with the binoculars, right? An American-owned company designed in Austin, Texas, right? So they came up with something along those lines, American-owned company, and they came up with a secondary design showing some people. I think that's, if you're an American-owned company, that's a big plus, right? Americans are really moving towards that. So this is another way that if you're an American-owned company, or if your company's based in America, you can put that language and you can do that. The clarity thing was one of the things that they wanted to fix. The zoom angle, remember those were the complaints. GPT is much more conversational, so survives every adventure, shock-proof and water absorbent. So they wanted to make sure that it was sturdy. Remember, we saw that that was one of the complaints. So here was an image. Here was another one. Survives every adventure. Here's a secondary one after it's cleaned up. So much better, but text shockproof should go under the left image. So they moved it over here, right? So it's not perfect. It should probably be divided, but you do get the dirt and the dust coming up, which I think is fantastic. So that was better. So this was another way to iterate. So adding context is key. So especially when attempting to create photorealistic children models. So I'm going to give you a reference image for a girl that we can use in the next photo. This is my niece, Rylene. Let's try an image. Now, he said it's his niece. It might not be, but the reality that you do that is so that you have permission. Midjourney, ChatGPT, they have issues with having children in there, but like if they think it's personal, they unlock it. You can negotiate with the GPTs to unlock abilities for them to create models. It's really crazy. So now you give some sufficient context. Okay, sounds good. For extra context, is a scene of the girl who is on a hike in the woods exploring and doing bird watching. She should be wearing a backpack and a hiking appropriate clothing. The age range of this girl should be between 7 and 9. The colors of the scene should be complementary to the brand colors, which are black and lime green. So you give a lot more context here. And then you've got applications, you've got packaging, you've got main image. This is a 5th variation of the main image. This is a set that has the compass. And then you've got Anatomy 1, V1, and then you've got USA V2, Anatomy V3, USA V3, right? So this is early versions, week 1. And then you've got advanced tools and techniques. So at the end of the day, like with just having, what we do is we have our design team actually create these folders so you can see the iterative process as they're working so that they can continuously put, and we can always go back and reference an image later. So have your team, if you're having someone else do this or if you're doing this, because scrolling up in the same conversation is very difficult, you can save the images into a folder as you're doing it and then keep track. And then you would name those images different things, right?